All right, let's get to Sandy Petty. Joy, you're our guest. Kick us off.
I'm feeling petty. I stay petty. My name is Joy, but it's sometimes a teeny tiny bit ironic. Just a tiny bit ironic. I would say my petty thing of the week. Ooh, who shall I be petty about today? I think I'm going to be petty about JD Vance, but not just JD Vance, but I would like to put out a call to Usha. And I want to just say to Usha, and I'm not trying to be petty, but I am trying to be petty. Sis, if you need me, if you need my help, blink twice, blink 3 times. I will come and get you. I will come and get you and let you come back over here with the ladies and the brown girls, because you cannot be proud of a man who keeps saying you have 3 kids and never says they have 3 kids together.
And he doesn't even talk about them like he loves them.
At all. And the worst one he said is when he said that he drags Usha to church every Sunday, even though she's not converted to be a Christian, she's a Hindu, and that because she has these kids, she feels like she has to keep them quiet. So basically, he has now called her the nanny. Usha, listen, baby, come let me help you.
Oh, she's a Yale-educated attorney. She's so smart, obviously. Like, oh, God, and now she has been, that's right, reduced to the nanny. Joy, do you think that JD Vance is kind of the Cybertruck of politicians? He is like, he's like a big, flashy, weird thing that people in Silicon Valley overestimate the appeal of. He's constantly having bugs. You're like, oh, that one, gotta recall it. Oh, yeah, the windshield wiper doesn't work. Oh, the glass isn't actually shatterproof. He doesn't know how to order donuts. Like,
also, Erin, I have to say, up here in upstate New York, there are these funny meme accounts that locals love because it makes fun of the city people. And one of them was just a picture of a Cybertruck at the laundromat. And it encapsulates JD Vance so well. It's like, you have a Cybertruck, but you don't have a washing machine? Like, what are you doing?
It's true. I mean, the thing is, if Peter Thiel and Elon Musk think he's the cool guy that can represent their belief system, and so they'll put out someone normal, and their choice is JD Vance, it tells you all you need to know about him and them. So, yeah, he's a weird fellow. I actually interviewed him, though, back in the day when his first book came out, when A Hillbilly Elegy came out, and he seemed like pretty normal back then. So it's kind of hard for me to tell if this version of him is an act and he's just trying to wait till Trump gets 25th Amendment and he's the king and president, or if he really believes this stuff. But the stuff about women is
It's the season of Succession that wasn't written.
Yes, it's so weird. But I think he does believe the stuff about women, and he doesn't seem to really, let's say, like women very much.
No.
And I'm going to say
Not even Usha.
I'm going to say something real catty. No beard in America is working harder to create a jawline.
Come on.
Than that beard.
He and Ted Cruz are in like a symmetry of like sort of purpose where they're like, this beard is going to make me look cool and macho, I swear. But it's doing the opposite. Like, how does a beard make you actually look more beta? Like, how?
Yeah. I mean, it's like, oh, my chin was cold. I had to grow hair. My chin got so cool. Okay. All right, I'll stop. That voice is upsetting to me. Alyssa, what are you, Sandy or Petty this week?
I'm Sandy this week.
Ooh.
Because you guys, we have hit the time in the election cycle when Barack Obama is bringing 150%, and having my first time on the campaign trail with him was almost 20 years ago, and this is always it. Before, and if he heard me say this, he'd be mad, but he wouldn't disagree. Before the final 2 weeks, he's like, what are we doing? Where are we going? Who's this person? But this is when he just locks in. And there is nothing, when I watched him sing, when he starts singing, you know, it is happening. And it's also a reminder that I probably professionally peaked like years ago. And every time we get to election season, I'm like, oh God, remember the days. Because, because Joy, in 2004, I was working for John Kerry, and he like never felt the joy. Yeah. Like he never, even those 2 weeks, he worked so hard, but he never got to the point where it is such a a gift, truly, to see someone who can just get up there and be their authentic selves and communicate so directly with so many people and convince them to go do something. And so, you know, and also every now and again, he'd let me sing too. And so off stage, actually once we were singing in the car, we were campaigning for Joe Sestak. Remember Joe Sestak?
Oh
in
God,
Pennsylvania?
yes. Ooh, memories.
And we were driving and it was just this like very quiet, it's like 4 of us in the car and 2 of us were singing. And he's like, must you? And so we stopped singing. And then it was so quiet. He's like, okay, fine, you can sing.
That is, and the best thing about it is how much he enjoys his own performance. Like when
100%.
Right? Like he'll tell a joke and he'll be like, you see what I did just there? I just
It's
told
like,
a joke.
Joy, when he started singing at the funeral, when he started singing Amazing Grace.
Listen.
And us 30 seconds into it, he's like, I got this.
Yes! He realized he was killing it. I mean, Barack Obama is one of the most naturally hilarious people because he thinks he's funny. And I think when somebody is enjoying themselves that much, you can't not help but enjoy them. And I love that you tell that story, Alyssa, because my 2 elections that I worked on when I got out, because I was super anti-war. So I went and I worked in 2004 for this company, America Coming Together. George Soros, thank God for his $260 million. We didn't win. So we were outside the Kerry experience. And what you're saying is so real because we could view the Kerry people from outside. We couldn't coordinate. And it wasn't a joyful campaign. It was a slog.
It's also why campaigns should never be in Washington, D.C.
Listen, ever, right? And then in Florida, I worked, very toward the end of the Obama 2008 effort. And you're absolutely right. The whole thing was like a party. It was one long barbecue. And everyone was so happy. People were online dancing. Celebs were showing up dancing with people on the polls. People were lining up around the building, but they weren't mad about the wait. It just felt so joyful. And so I think the thing that also throws me off about this election is that joy is here again.
Yeah.
And it's at that level, and you see Obama leaning into it and building on it, and Bruce Springsteen is in it.
Michelle's coming. Michelle's coming out.
Megan Thee Stallion is feeling it, and it's like it's hard
Eminem.
for me to. Eminem.
Yeah, we got.
And it's like it's hard to imagine that whole cultural revolution that even has Liz Cheney feeling it could possibly be the minority opinion in the country. It's hard to fathom that, but there we are.
It's like, are we a country that is going to run towards something, or are we a country that's going to run away from something? And I think that the reason that I am like just 51% optimistic now is because I think that the Harris campaign has made a case that we're running towards something positive. And the Trump campaign's case is we're running away from something scary. And we are kind of running away from something scary with Donald Trump, but we're running towards something good. Like we want the thing, like the Trump campaign is based entirely on like disgust and avoidance and getting away from something. So that's why I'm 50% hopeful. Okay, I've got a Sani Petty. Mine is petty. It's not petty. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. And I'm sorry, New Yorkers, but the Lynx got jobbed in Game 5 of the WNBA Finals. This was such a fun season of basketball. It is so fun to watch the WNBA. I was like in it this year. I was in it. And, I'm from the Minneapolis area originally, so the Lynx are by default going to be my team, even though I enjoyed watching like all the teams. I thought the Connecticut Sun were a lot of fun this year, and the Liberty were a lot of fun, and the Aces were a lot of fun. There's just like a lot of great talent. The Mercury were even fun to watch. The Sparks, less so. But we might get a good, good first round pick next season. But anyway, the Lynx got jobbed. The officiating has been bad. The officiating needs to be better because it is interfering with the overall quality of the basketball. Congratulations to the Liberty. I'm very excited that they won their first WNBA title, but I don't think that Game 5 didn't go how it was supposed to go. That's all.